By especially winter, there's a lot of smog in Delhi. So now if you're going to blame that on bursting crackers, which just happens once a year, then as a Hindu, I'm offended. And I think that is unfair.
Hello, good evening, namaste, and welcome to Citti Media. My name is Sharan Setty, and I'll be your host for this show. Joining us today is the lovely and beautiful Pranitha Subhash from Bengaluru. She is a social entrepreneur and a superstar in the South cinema who also debuted in Bollywood very recently with Hangama 2 and Butch. Pranitha, it's so good to have you here. Namaste, how are you?
Namaste, I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing very well too. First of all, we've heard the tragic news of the death of power star Punit Rajkumar, and nobody was expecting this. And in fact, last year too, we had another star from the Kannada industry, Chiru Sarja, passing away very unfortunately. Is there anything you would like to say?
Well, the Vidya Antarala, it's just how destiny works. It's something that's beyond what's in our control. And honestly, it's still not sunken in. I really still do not, I'm not able to believe that Puneet sir is no more. And it's, I think the last few days have been extremely disturbing in various ways for all of us. People who have never met him, as well as people who have got a chance to work with him, or people like me who have met him on various occasions, whether it's the movie award events and various other social gatherings. And I've always seen what a humble and what a warm person that he is. And in fact, I don't see that in, I don't know, he's incomparable to any other actor in terms of how humble an actor should be. And I don't know, it's just beyond words to really put it across to say how it feels right now to have lost someone so he's not just an actor, he's not just a superstar. I think his name was synonymous with Kannada cinema and the whole cultural ethos of Karnataka. Because if there's ever we're putting out pictures to depict various cultural icons of Karnataka, then Puneet sir definitely features, and he's that important. And it's just unfair. I mean, I don't even know if we can say that, but he had so much ahead of him, and he'd achieved so much in 46 years, and there was so much more that he had to do. And it's not just acting. In fact, I was just talking about this morning, where we did this medical camp, as a small tribute, because he is somebody who does a lot of social work. So I think it was really, I don't know, like we didn't even imagine that there'd be a day that we do something like this. But nevertheless, I think we have to ultimately draw inspiration from him, because that is what he stood for. And it's not, that's what people were saying. Nobody is talking about how, all the cars that he owned, all the, all the lavish things that a human being does. And I think all that everyone was talking about were the 35 lakh people that came to visit him. And that is the number of fans, or fans is not even the right word. I think he just had like people who just loved him. And if you saw this CM, Basuraj Bommai, he actually has, with the kind of love and compassion and with the kind of affection that he did when he came to visit. I think I've never seen that anywhere. Have you ever seen a chief minister showing that kind of affection, or that having that kind of emotional that kind of, those kind of emotions for an actor? I think that's very rare. He has earned that. And today everyone is only talking about how humble he is, how helpful he was, and how his seva manobhava, which I think, whether it's adopting orphanages or old age homes, or whether it was, helping people with medical expenses or educational expenses. These are the things that people are talking about. And today, the only thing that we can do is probably walk in his footsteps. Like, I know it's not easy because he was huge. There's no way all of us can match up to anything that he did. But the least we can do is at least be kind, and because that is what he stood for. He was an epitome of kindness. And I have never ever, I don't think even you will ever find a video on YouTube or anywhere where he's got into a quarrel or is in a bad mood, or where he has said something rude to someone or even lost his patience. Like, being such a star and a human being at the end of the day, it's quite easy to lose patience, but not even that. Like, always smiling. And I don't know, it's impossible. It's almost like he just achieved everything he would have in 100 years in 46 years. And probably that's what they say. He thought, okay, you have lived in a beautiful life, and now you can move to I don't know, hopefully heaven. That's what I can say. There's nothing, it's just beyond imagination to put it in words.
It is indeed very tragic. And in fact, it's a very positive precedent set when people with such amount of influence get involved in humanitarian causes. And you're also one of the few people who has taken active interest from time to time. And perhaps, I know about it because, I'm involved with the foundation that you run. But for the benefit of our viewers, do tell us how this journey started. Was it like just a few years ago? Or what's the genesis of this thought where you decided, no, I'm going to get actively involved in social work?
So I believe that as actors, the kind of reach that we have is not even measurable. And I think when it is, because we don't even, the kind of impact, like, you haven't met someone and they already love you. And imagine how we could channelize this and streamline this and make it useful for the society. This is what I thought. And as actors, we're able to bring in volunteers. Honestly, Pranitha Foundation, I was just discussing this with my team, how it has all been an effort of volunteers. And when I say volunteers, they come and work for free. So we don't really have, of course, we do have people that work for us on a monthly basis, but at the end of the day, the volunteers would just come and work for us for free. And that is what really warms my heart, because it's not easy for someone to feel like they want to come and work for you. And I think as actors, we, without even meeting you, they're so excited to come and work for you. And that is something I really think that as actors we can pull off. And the second thing is funding, whether it is the social media reach that is helping us get the kind of funds that we need for the various events that we're doing, or it could be the various people that believe in you because of the work that you do. And that is another resource that I really don't want to let, I don't want it to go waste. And I really think that can be channelized in a good way. And the fact that various brands, like today it was Aster, which came on board, and they did a medical camp. And of course we facilitated it, sorry. And we had ISKCON give us free meals. So I really like how various organizations come on board and they trust you. And this is this as an actor, I think if one really wants to, you can streamline and channelize their fame and popularity in the right direction. And honestly, I think it's more of a duty, because so much we have received from the society for the little effort that we do. So I really think that, these are the real efforts at the end of the day.
Well, I do hope that more and more people like you take such initiatives to make our society a better place. And, we are speaking on the occasion of Deepawali. So first of all, let me take this opportunity to wish you and your family and our viewers a very happy Deepawali Happa.
Yes, wishing all the viewers a very happy Deepawali. Elrigu Deepawali Habbada Hardika Shubhashayagalu.
But in that sense, I want us to address a few more serious issues that we see, because you've also been commenting on social political issues now and then, and you're very active on Twitter, and you've been writing a lot of articles as well.
Yeah.
Pranitha, as somebody who is an influencer, who's an actor, who's a part of
Yeah,
Bollywood right now, we see a wide range of advertisements that dictate how Hindus need to behave or how
right.
Hindus need to celebrate. Um, do you think as an actor, will you protect creative freedom, or do you think this is deliberate provocation?
I think that, I think the right word that you used was influencer. Today, as an actor, I think, but of course, influencer and social media has its own vibe and
Right.
meaning today. But I think, in the real sense of what the dictionary says, influencer, a person who can influence an audience, and that's what actors are. So today, if an actor is buying a certain pair of shoes, then there are people who want to wear the same shoes because a so and so actor who you really like and looks good in is wearing that. So on similar lines, I think that as actors we have that strong voice and we're able to influence people. So I think as actors, if we don't really stand up for various causes, then it really doesn't serve the purpose of all that influence that we have. And I think especially my cause has always been dharma, because, and it's not just I think you can see that as the sentiment of the nation, because the nation voted uh, a party which sort of promotes and sort of wants to protect dharma. So
Right.
I really think that if in 2014, if the entire nation has voted it, then I think that is the mood of the nation, because I think we have been fed up of, uh, you know, sort of letting go of our cultural ethos and letting go of all those strong roots.
Yes.
I think it's really important to get all that back. And they are not, see, all these cultural values, all these rituals that we have, they didn't come out of nowhere. They came out of a lot of thought. And I remember writing for Vijay, one of the newspapers, one of the regional Kannada newspapers, about how Corona times has actually made us all go back to all the minute things that the Hindu Dharma
Right.
teaches us, whether it's doing a namaste instead of a shake hand. So there's no exchange of germs, or whether it is sitting down to have food on a banana leaf that makes it very hygienic. So I've just figured how everyone is slowly moving towards dharma, and especially Sanatana Dharma is what I'm talking about, and how it has these amazing there are well thought out I won't call it rituals. It's a lifestyle. First of all, Hinduism is a lifestyle. It's not just a religion. This is what we've always heard. So it is something that we want to imbibe, and that this is how we want to lead our lives. And I can see how everyone's slowly getting there and
Right.
getting back there. So as actors, we're only putting it out there on social media, on a platform where people know that, okay, these actors are this is their cause. They want to protect dharma, and there's no shame, or there's no sort of why hide your identity. And I see a lot of people, they I think in the name of globalization or in the name of westernization, we're leaving behind this entire I don't know, it's like a wealth of identity, and I don't know why why anyone would do that. So
Right, very beautifully said. And in fact, this is something that people have always admired about you, is that you're very proactive and positive about Hindu Dharma. What I wanted to ask you is that, in that sense, do you actually support bursting crackers? Because a lot of people are
yeah.
going eco-friendly. So I just wanted to know what you think about this.
I think that Deepavali comprises of a number of rituals, which starts with lighting of a diya. And with the advent of Deepavali, every Hindu household lights a diya, a lamp, a deepa, which signifies positivity, the dawn of a new day, and the end of darkness and the beginning of light. So that is where it starts. And of course, festivities, meeting up with friends, all the pujas that we do, especially Lakshmi Ge Puja Madadu, that is so primary to all of us that who really believe in the Lakshmi Puja that is going to happen. And a lot of other, or Dhanteras, where I know a lot of my friends who go and buy a little bit of jewelry or something to signify a prosperity. So there's so many rituals in Deepavali, and one of them is bursting crackers. And I think that has been kept because every festival of ours is made to be a social occasion. End of the day, if you see Holi, it's about playing with colors. It's about that bond you want to build with your family and friends, and that's what crackers is all about, where you burst a few crackers with your family and or friends, and it just builds a beautiful social relationship. And I think that is what it's all about. And honestly, if people are really worried about pollution, there are so many other causes which are leading to so much more pollution than crackers. Also, very importantly, I think if you check out the values and the statistics of the air quality, within 2 days, the entire air of the country is back to normal after Deepawali. Yes. While something as serious as the stubble burning by farmers, that has taken a backseat. That is so important to be tackled. That's such a primary issue, right? Because especially in Punjab, a lot of crops, they get burnt later, and all that because of the wind, it gets to Bihar, and that's why you see so much smog in Delhi. Now, if you're going to blame all that, I've seen a lot of people that if you're going to blame all that on Deepawali, as a Hindu, I'm offended, and I think that that's unfair. So in that sense, I think that I personally love bursting crackers, and I think it's part of our rituals. It's come from eons, and and of course, scientifically, yes, there is pollution. See how limited you can be with it, but end of the day, of course, it's part of my culture. I would never give it up for anything.
Very beautiful message. And, in fact, I remember this because last year, I think you had put out a tweet saying that, let nobody dictate how you need to celebrate Hindu festivals. And that sort of blew up and everyone was talking about it.
Because
yes, please go ahead.
No, I was saying that, especially celebration of a festival is such a personal thing, because today, if you see the constitution, the freedom to various things that you have, it also has freedom to religion, where this definitely comes under that, because this is where you celebrate your festival, your what you believe in a certain way that you want, and how your ancestors have really done it all these years. So it's our duty just to protect it and move ahead, because in the name of, and I do see a lot of unfairness, a lot of there's a lot of targeting specifically to these I think you must have seen all these memes with if it's Raksha Bandhan, somebody is coming up with something. If it's this, they come up with something else. Because if you're going to do that to only Hindu festivals, that's going to be unfair. Then I would want you to do it to all the festivals of various other dharmas as well. Because that makes it unfair if you're going to only point out to, Holi, you're wasting water. That way. That is completely unfair. That's the only thing I would want to say.
I completely agree with you. I mean, in that sense, I think the majority have been taken for granted. They have been suppressed and taken for a ride for a very long time, and that sort of resembles in the current political mood that we have right now.
Right.
So in that sense, I'm really glad you brought this up. And in fact, there is something else that you tweeted that also went viral, and you were criticizing the Dismantling Global Hindutva Conference, and you cited 3 reasons mainly for it. You told that,
Ganesh Chaturthi,
yes.
It happened. So it was quite a planned effort, because it happened right before Ganesh Chaturthi, which is again a festival that all of us so beautifully, so religiously follow. And the funny part is, the beautiful part is that a lot of Muslims celebrate Ganesh Chaturthi in their own way. And I think this is one festival that binds everyone together. And and at the same time, the Afghan attacks were happening, and the Taliban, and all those visuals, which are so disturbing. And it's in fact, I can't even put it in words how disturbing those were. So it was so unfair for a lot of these intellectuals and liberals from the Western world, who have no idea of what Hinduism stands for, what Sanatana Dharma stands for, and for them to bring up to do a planned attack like this, I think it was something that that it really shocked me that this is what's going on. And I think honestly, if you were to point fingers, you would point fingers at the Taliban and what's happening, because that's inhuman. And what is happening here is sort of bringing together people, which is bringing together communities. I think that this is something that's beautiful, and this is something that needs to be encouraged. So I found so many, and the fact that it was happening at the 9/11, on the anniversary of 9/11. So many of these things, yeah.
So is this why you're very critical about the term Hindu terror? And I think you even wrote an article in
Yes.
one of the leading Karnataka dailies about this.
Yeah, because I think that, when people are unable to, because this is something that is born out of love. This is a religion that is so peaceful. It just promotes nothing but love and respect to elders, and respecting women. And these are the things that we stand for. And it's really sad that people want to coin a term called Hindu terror, which doesn't even exist. And then sort of, I saw people comparing it to what is happening in Afghanistan. And it's absolutely appalling that something like this can be happening, because you are there. It is just a very, very thoughtfully provoking people against Hinduism. And we're the oldest religion, and we're the most peaceful religion. So it really can't get more ironic than that.
Right. And what I have observed, which is very interesting, is that, and a lot of your fans also want to know this, especially when you tweet out saying that, you've written an article in Kannada. Why doesn't Pranitha Subhash write in English? To the popularity that you hold, you do have the option of writing for the best media houses in the country. So why is it that you write in Kannada a lot?
Yeah, so I think, of course, English is a universal language in India because of the advent of the British and everything. But end of the day, if you look at it, I think all of us are really close to our mother tongues. And if it's the Tamil community, they want to watch their movies, their heroes, their superstars, and that's how they are. And when it comes to Telugu, that's the sentiment that follows there as well. So as a Kannadiga, it was just easy for me to do this. And also the fact that I think my team also is able to help me with putting it across and articulating it better, especially in Kannada. And I really like it that people around me are the first ones that need to read and learn about the various things that we write for, whether it's freeing Hindu temples, whether it's dismantling this term called Hindu terror, or all these things. I think that people around us are the first ones that need to be reading about it. Yeah.
I mean, indeed, it is very true, because no matter how much of an elite compass that English media may hold, we are in the minority, and in fact, India speaks a lot of different languages. Indeed,
and funnily, issues that we talk about, they resonate better if it is in a regional language, because these are issues that concern us on a personal level. If you've observed every of these issues, I know they sound like national issues, they sound like international issues, but if you really break it down, these are issues that affect us personally. And that is what I think, that is probably the reason why we all want to put it out in a regional language. And I think that is why it has better reach in regional languages. Like I go to the dentist, and my dentist is like, hey, I read your article about this. So it's that's what I want, because people around me, my neighbors, our community, our city, let them first read this. And then, of course, if people want to translate it, and I've seen people on the internet, like, when the article comes out, hey, I can't read this language, and then someone else just volunteers and translates the whole thing. And I've seen that happen. So if that's the kind of reach we can get, then nothing like it. Someone else translates it for someone. So that really makes my effort of, or our effort of, the entire team that puts across all this, it really makes it worth it.
Right. Very well. Thank you so much for joining us. This is your first time on Citti Media, but not your first time on the Festival of Bharat.
Yes.
And viewers, if you haven't watched her interview, please do check out Citti Media and the Festival of Bharat. She's spoken on a whole different lot of issues about 6 months ago, and the interviews are still there, and it's gone viral. Thank you so much, Pranitha, first of all, for joining us, and I hope we can do this again.
Thank you. Happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali to you too. And to all our viewers, please do like, share, and subscribe to Citti Media. Wishing you all a very happy Deepawali. This is your host, Sharan Setty, signing off.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.